A lot of mistakes are being made in the marketplace because of this whole movement of social selling and affiliate marketing and leveraging social media. And I think what kind of messed people up was the whole boom of TikTok, the COVID situation where everybody was at home, everybody was looking for ways to make money online. It was really easy to get attention if you were posting consistently on social. Now there's more competition. Now the economy has shifted. Now it's a little more challenging. And I like that because the cream rises to the top. It's pruning season, it's separation season. We're gonna see who the real bosses and leaders are, the real movers and shakers. And you gotta get back to the basics. You gotta get back to doing the things you did in the beginning when you were ignorance on fire, when you were working your business. It's network marketing, not work marketing. Capiche? Anyway, I think this is a really important conversation. One of the mistakes I see is a lot of times people get into management mode. I kind of mentioned this. And look, you can do whatever you want, it's your business. I'm just telling you what not to do so that your business doesn't fall apart like mine did in the early years. One of the big mistakes I made is I kind of worked with my frontline people. I would just work with them, manage them, mentor them. And then I was in this one company for 7 years where they talked a lot about taprooting. It taught me a philosophy that I believe is really important today. In fact, write this down if you're taking notes. Again, a mistake that I made in my early years is I would just work with my frontline people and I wouldn't build relationships in depth with the people on those teams because I felt like, well, I'm just gonna mentor the leader. The problem is, if that happens, if you do that and that leader leaves, quits, backs away, they start doing other things, God forbid something happens to them, you have no relationship with the people on their team. So those people are probably all gonna give up because they go, well, I don't have a leader anymore. They don't know anybody else other than that one person. And that was the only person you spoke to. So one thing that I learned early on, and this was back, again, this is why I like that there's such a shift in the market because it's forcing people to go back to like the old school philosophies and strategies. And one of those philosophies is drive a leg deep, build depth in your organization. In fact, build depth for stability and build width for wealth. So what does that mean? That means you keep sponsoring people, you go wide. Now, some of these comp plans, maybe it doesn't seem advantageous to go wide. You're like, I only need 2 legs or 3 legs. Sure, but you don't want to make the minimum requirement your maximum effort. Don't make your minimums your maximums. Basically, you should keep sponsoring people. Why would you think your team is going to sponsor people if you're not sponsoring people? If you're not launching new teams, they probably won't launch new teams. If you're not posting, they're not posting. If you're not ATMing, they're not ATMing. Does that make sense? Like, do the things you want your team to do. And if you stop doing those things and you go, my business is going backwards, like, of course it is. Are you working your business, especially for people that build a full-time income, and then their check goes down and it's like, are you even putting in a full-time effort? If you had a traditional business, you'd have to show up whether the rates were good or the inflation is up or down, the market's good. You'd have to show up every day because it's your business or it's your job, and you'd have to show up. You'd have to put in 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week in order to make money. And in this business, people work really hard in the beginning, they build up a foundation, and then things get a little hard or things slow down or they're just not in alignment anymore or excited anymore. And it's like, okay, well, your check's probably gonna go backwards if you slow down, if you stop doing the things you did in the beginning. Again, I'd rather keep it real and tell you the truth. So for me, I knew this to be true, and I'd heard them say, build width for wealth, depth for stability. I heard about taprooting. So I started implementing these things back in like 2008, 9, 10. That was when I got real serious about my business, and I stopped managing my business and managing my managers. And I started working with the newest people. So write this down, drive a leg 10 levels deep. You will notice your teams that fall apart, they typically fall apart because they don't go deeper than 2 or 3 levels. It's very rare that a leg, a line, a team will fall apart if you drive it 10 levels deep. Now, does it happen? Sure, but that's still probably your fault because even that, if you drive it 10 levels deep and you don't keep working with those people or keep a relationship with those people, because here's what happens. Let's say you bring in Bob. Bob brings in Sarah. Sarah brings in Susie. Susie brings in Ted. Ted brings in all the way down to 10 people. And on the 10th level, you have, I don't know, Susie Q. If that 10th level person, you're working with them directly, how much more respect does that person have for you? Because they're like, damn, John's like way up there. Right? John's way up there. Annie's way up there. Tiffany's way up there, but they're helping me. Like, so if some of these people in between you and Susie Q quit, that Susie Q's not going to quit because she has a relationship with you. You respond to her messages. You offer mentoring. I'm telling you, this is a major key. Go look at your teams right now. For those of you that are building teams, go look at your teams that are only 2 or 3 levels deep. You should be scared. You should be afraid of those legs falling apart because they probably will. Because this business thrives off of new blood, new people. And again, in this social selling era, the problem is so many people are just selling. They personally recruit people, but that's it. It's just like, it's all like personal activity, which by the way, that's great. That's like phase 1 money-making activities. You should be focused on new people, new customers, new recruits. I love it. But if you bring someone on and they don't bring anyone on, they don't build a team, they only sell, if anything. How many of you bring in people that do nothing? And it's like, dude, I can't help you grow a business if you don't take action. You want me to mentor you, but you're doing nothing. You're not posting, you're not prospecting, you're not taking action. If you don't introduce me to humans, if you're not adding people to the group, sharing the videos, you're not working the business, what do you want me to mentor you about? There's not much for us to talk about. I can only mentor the people that take action, that are reaching out saying, hey, I talked to 10 people, here's what happened. Hey, I signed up a new customer, what should I do now? Hey, I signed up this new social marketer, what should I do now? Hey, what's the onboarding link? Managers don't make a lot of money in this business. You can't just I recruited 10 people, now I'm just gonna manage them. No, you gotta help those 10 people get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people, and then help those people get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people. And people say, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, okay. I mean, look, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it a pyramid scheme, you can call it MLM, you can call it network marketing, but we are networking through people to market our products. That is what we're doing. And the truth is, there's a lot of people out there that just wanna make extra money, and that's amazing. But I'm just saying, if you wanna build a long-term business, an empire, a legacy, you want long-term leveraged income, you have to think bigger than that. Otherwise, you probably just have like a side hustle. You probably just have an extra income, and that's fine. If you want 5 figures a month, you should want leverage. You should want to build a team. So again, you should be recruiting, cool, but you should be helping those people get customers, help those people build a team, and then drive a leg, like I said, 10 levels deep. Very rarely does a leg fall apart if it's 10 levels deep. How many of you ever had a team fall apart? Go back and look at how deep you drove that leg. And if it was only 2 or 3 lines, 2 or 3 levels, maybe 5 levels, that's why. Now, when you're brand new, maybe you're just starting off getting customers, you're not ready to taproot a leg, right? You're not ready to drive a leg, but that's why you have an upline. That's why you introduce your people to your upline. Your upline can help you develop a team. Your upline can help you work with those people. But if you don't introduce your upline to anybody, there's only so much they can do to help you. Taprooting is a major, major key to building longevity. It's also a mistake that I see. Because again, people avoid working with the newest people because it's easier to manage people you already have a relationship with. It's easier to work with legs that are already super developed with lots of leaders inside of those teams. And this is why for me, I always try to pay attention to like who's working, who's showing up, who's putting in the numbers. And I always try to build relationships with those people, support those people, whether it's responding to chats, having them on calls, highlighting them, recognizing them. I'm always trying to do team promotions and investing in my team. You should be doing this too as you build up a bigger business. In the beginning, that might be tough, right? In the beginning, you don't really have the profits or the success yet, so I get that. But at the end of the day, that gets really hard. Let's be honest, it's really hard to find good people, hungry people, people that have a work ethic, that have desire. It's hard to find good people. So when you get one, when you have someone that's actually doing the work, you should not take that for granted, because here's the truth. They're not gonna just keep working. They're not just gonna keep doing the do. At some point, they'll get tired. At some point, they'll get discouraged. And if nobody's got a relationship with them, if nobody's in their ear cheering them on, supporting them, believing in them, and encouraging them, there's more likelihood of them quitting. So when you're working in your team, when you're working with your organization, remember, number one, your ego ain't your amigo. So never become egotistical, never get to the point where I don't need to work with these new people. I don't need to talk to these are new people. I don't need to work with these new people. Really, dude? Weren't you new at one point? And I think we have to keep in mind that brand new people are the most excited. The brand new person has the most upside potential. That brand new person knows hundreds, if not thousands of people that you don't know. That's what's so exciting about this business, right? We're networking through people to market our products. That is literally what we do. You're a talent scout. You're looking for people that have talents and abilities and attributes positive people, hard workers. Like they might not necessarily be influencers. They might not have influence, or they might not necessarily have experience doing something like this, but that's who you're looking for. Like it's really hard to drag an anchor, right? Like, oh gosh, come on, let's go to the top of the mountain. Like the climb is hard as it is. You definitely don't want to drag people with you. You're looking for runners. You're looking for people who want to grow, that want to build, that are hungry.